Hey, welcome back. September 18th, 2020. Happy Friday, y'all. I got another day of work. You guys get to start your weekend. Turn this off. So real quick before I get into it, thought it was kind of late in the season for it, but I saw a very small black bear cub that had treed itself outside these people's house. And they were like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Get it out of the tree. It'll get out when it's ready. The mother will come, call it down from the tree. They'll be on their way. If ever in life you encounter a bear cub in a tree, be cognizant, mom is close by. Don't mess with it. You're scared it's only going to go further up the tree. And you're scared when mom's close by, your ass is going to be bear food. Although black bears are not notoriously aggressive toward humans, why test the theory by messing with its cub? Just a little PSA for those of us that deal with wildlife. Continuing with our theme of Civil War in America. Some of you are like, oh, this again. Some of you that may catch it for the first time are like, continuing with it. Yeah, if you're new, go back and check stuff out. And hit the subscribe button if you like what you hear. And I'm sure we'll get the random lefty in the comments who's like, but the right! No. The right isn't the one doing the violence. But the guys in military gear in Minneapolis, yeah, they were Antifa. So anyway, when is it time to fight? That's one of those important questions you all should be asking yourself. When is it physically time to take up arms and use them in the manner that they were prescribed? And by the manner that they were prescribed, I mean as the Second Amendment intended it, not for hunting deer or sporting, for defense against tyranny, for defense against those who would take your life, liberty, or property. It's a good question, right? I know there's a good percentage out there that are like, oh, I wish an MFer would. Quite honestly, that's not the guy I want standing next to me. Because that's a guy that's either going to take a sketchy situation and turn it into something it doesn't need to be by running his mouth, or take a sketchy situation and turn it into something he didn't need it to be because, well, he wished an MFer would. He got a little squeeze happy with his trigger, or, you know, a little butt stroke happy, or what have you. So now that I've addressed what I don't want, or what I don't think is the right time to fight, let's talk about what is. It's a very vague and ambiguous question, right? And take this out of the perspective that I'm talking to you on my way home from work. I just got off shift. I'm still in uniform. Forget that for a second. I'm talking to you as the armed, prepared citizen, right? I just happen to be wearing this set of clothes right now because, well, what I was doing previously dictated that I wear them. So do you fight? Do you take up arms when there's riots going on half a country away? Because in a lot of cases, there's riots going on half a country away. There's Antifa destroying and looting with the assistance of BLM, doing these devious deeds to property and business, and in some cases, life. And if you're going to show up in the comments and be like, but Kyle Rittenhouse, go back and watch that video. I did one on that too. Do you take up arms now? The obvious question is against whom, right? Especially if there's nothing going on in your neighborhood, in your town, in your city, in your county, in your sphere of influence. Some people would say, yeah, let me get suited and booted and head over to it. Other people would say, nah, that's not my fight yet. And that answer is entirely up to you, by the way. Some people would call me chicken shit because I say the fight hasn't shown up on my door yet, or in my sphere of influence yet. But that's my decision. And I don't try and influence anyone else's. I'd like to give you the option, or the information, the opinion, the analysis to make that decision for yourself. Do you do yourself any good by going outside your sphere of influence to fight someone else's fight? And then by default, leave your home undefended. Because if you don't think, oh, these people know who's there, you're out of your gourd. These Antifa cats are the masters at doxing. So what's to say? You say, hell, Portland's on fire. You know, there's a group of 3%ers going over there. That's another one. Get to that in a second. There's a group of 3%ers over there. Let me join up with those guys and see if I can take it to Antifa. In the meantime, there's scouts around the area are like, all right, photo. And Google has facial analysis for photos. Take about 2 seconds to match that to your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, what have you, any place your face is, right? Are you going to leave your sphere of influence to join up with an unknown faction? You don't know what they're about other than they call themselves 3%ers. Now, I've met a lot of people that call themselves 3%ers, a lot of people that call themselves preppers, a lot of people that call themselves a lot of things. Does that mean I'd want to stand shoulder to shoulder with each and every one of them? Absolutely not. But again, that decision's on you. Remember, there's dumbasses in every group. Some are just louder about it than others. Do you wait until there's a riotous mob on your front lawn with torches, pitchforks, Molotov cocktails, baseball bats, probably a gun or two. And God only knows what else and what for intentions. And make your stand then. Especially if you're one of those guys that calls himself a prepper and throws around the term armed prepared citizen, tells you, well, you don't need any of that for self-defense. All you need is a bolt-action rifle and a big-bore revolver. Yeah, we got shots fired on that one. Do you fight that battle from your front door then? Yeah, I don't think so. Or do you network with the people you live with and figure out who stands where? Just through subtle conversation and neighborhood gossip. Because, man, there's somebody in every neighborhood that loves to gossip. And it's amazing what you can learn from the old lady at the corner. I got a guy, just a quick story, lives, I guess if you were to stretch it to a city block, probably 2 blocks away. Older guy. Old guy. I'm older, he's old. Walks every day. Saw my house with the American flag, the Marine flag, the Navy flag for the missus, and the blue line flag. And me walking a German Shepherd and a Belgian Malinois, swears up and down I'm a neo-Nazi by the look of me. Asked one of the neighbors, is he a neo-Nazi? He looks like he's a neo-Nazi. I think he's a neo-Nazi. Mind you, one of these neighbors that he asked that is an old black lady. And I wished I could have seen the look on her face, because she told me she just straight up couldn't stop laughing. Not even long enough to answer the question, just couldn't stop laughing. I owe that lady a range class, by the way. She's liberal. She doesn't like the president very much. But she also doesn't like the alternative. Find these things out by letting people talk and listening to what they say. See, she's in a better position than I am to catch the scuttlebutt in the area because, number one, she's an old lady. She's outside doing yard work, people stop and talk. She hears everything. She's retired. She did her time in the sand mines, as it were. She also doesn't care what anybody thinks. She'll tell you what's on her mind. Sometimes you may want to hear it, sometimes you may not. But you know what? That's what living around the corner from Grandma is good for. Get a piece of her mind one way or the other. But I guarantee you, if there was some rumblings of violent shenanigans going on, that's who'd know about it first. If not her, the lady next door to her. And if it was bad enough, I'd probably know about it second or third. At that rate, hopefully I wouldn't be fighting the fight from my front door. Be able to get some things in place to keep it afar. Maybe not even have to fight that fight at all. Sometimes you make the insurgency too hard to fight. You make it too hard to conduct an insurgency. They lose their fight real quick. Not to mention, my house is built out of wood. I don't think it would react to a Molotov cocktail too well. And it's surrounded by trees. So that's really not a fight that I would want to fight from my front door. If I had to, so be it. But I haven't had to think about it other than wargaming it in my head. And man, if you don't think that's one of those things that keeps me up at night, you're dead wrong. But you live in the middle of nowhere, exactly. Ain't nobody coming to help. You have 2 state troopers that cover where I live. One and a half security guards on the night shift. That if they're smart and something like that happened, they would hide their asses in the biggest bunker they could. So I ask you, when is it time to fight? When it's at your front door? At the end of your street? Or just somewhere in your sphere of influence? That's a tough question to answer. That's why I'm not giving you an answer, because I haven't come up with mine yet. It's easy to get in the comment section and keyboard commando something out, but really think about it. Because that's what I don't think these dumbasses with plastic shields and wooden bats and maybe a gun or two are thinking about. Is that they're playing an adult's game, but they're playing it with kid rules. My life is my life. I only get one. I'm not about to have it snuffed out by some LARPing millennial that feels like taking his fight for social injustice to whomever they meet on that given day. The idea with, conversely, the idea of snuffing out one of their lives because they decided to play an adult's game by kids' rules because they decided to take their social injustice fight to the wrong door also doesn't sit well with me. And I know a lot of people that feel the same way about that. Yeah, we'll play. We don't like the idea. You won't like the idea. But we'll play your game. But we'll play it by adult rules. So when is it time? Only you can give that answer for yourself. Be safe. Watch your 6. Out for now. Have a good weekend. Maybe I'll get back at you tomorrow on the way home. Maybe I won't. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe. Later on, folks.